If someone came up to me and said, what do I need to know about Jessica? I would say the first and most important thing is that she's a human being, made in God's image. She's worthy of dignity, and she has great human value. My name is Mike Batis. I serve as the Dean of Students at the Geneva School here in Winter Park, Florida. My oldest child, Jessica, who's now almost 31, was born when we were doing Young Life work in Buffalo, New York. Like any young married couple, we were thrilled to have a child. And within about 3 or 4 months after her birth, we learned that she was going to be different for her whole life than most normal people. She lives with what we call severe and profound disabilities, mentally and physically. So she has extra material on her 8th chromosome. And it doesn't have a name, it's just her. She cannot speak or care for herself. She cannot walk. Jessica communicates to us emotionally through happy or sad or frustrated or content. And she has little signals she gives. If she puts her thumb in her mouth, she's happy. If she hooks her little index finger over her nose when her thumb's in her mouth, she's really happy. And when the other arm goes up over the head when she's got her hooked over her nose, that's supremely happy and content. So there's little signals like that she gives us. She loves lights. Christmas time is a favorite time for her because there's lights on the trees, there's lights on the houses around here in Florida. She likes music, especially country western music. Anything Garth Brooks, she just starts to wiggle and shine. Our daughter goes bowling and to Outback Steakhouse and to the mall once a month and things like that. And she does know people, family members, constant friends over the last 20 years. When they're with her, she will react to them emotionally in very positive ways, smiling, wiggling, laughing. She is who she is. I will be honest that initially after her diagnosis, we pretty much went into a free fall spiritually, trying to figure out how this was going to work out in our spiritual lives, in our church life, in our vocational life. It changed everything. Scripture is really what's helped. There's a scripture in Exodus 4. Moses has been giving God excuses why he should not be God's servant. And the final excuse, his trump card, so to speak, was, I can't speak well. The older translations used to say, I'm slow of speech and thick of tongue. He had some sort of speech impediment. God's answer was very striking. He says, who made man's mouth? Who gives him sight or makes him blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now you go. And God is essentially saying there, what you consider to be an impediment, what you consider to be a disability, I take credit for. I'm not making excuses for that. It's my plan for you. It surprises me still after 30 years when people say, well, when I spend time with your daughter, I see God in a whole new way. She brings a gift to the church. And that gift, surprisingly, is just her presence. She shows up, and people are affected, and people are drawn to Christ. It's a mystery to me, but God works in ways we'd never expect, and he uses people quite often that we would least expect him to use. And my daughter Jessica falls in that category.